Hello everyone, this is continue to the previous video related to write our own wrapper. So actually I done at least first version of our own wrapper with the name of Wrapter. It's already pushed to the Git repository. At the end of the video I will write this like as description to the YouTube. And just to repeat small part, just imagine we have new microservice inside of our company, and this microservice requires some of the dependencies from infra, and due to that, software engineer comes to the SRE or DevOps team to create this part. Or based on some merge request, developers themselves can create them on the fly by merge request. Of course, it's future plan to implement our infrastructure, how based on our wrapper it must work. So right now we have second step, which we will use our own wrapper to generate on the fly microservice Terraform codes based on the inputs, which will use in any way the Terraform common models as it was before. Of course, on the fly we must generate dependent part by the service selections. I mean, it doesn't matter. The question from input of the wrapper must ask which of the services you require for your microservice. I mean, for example, PostgreSQL, Mongo, or Kcloak, or Active Directory. And based on that, all Terraform code files must be generated on the fly, depend on account ID, depend on environment, and depend on the region too. So we will see how all this stuff will be generated on the fly. So right now, I will switch to the VS Code part. Look at the left part. We have account ID with the numbers 1. We don't have account ID with the numbers 2, but we have account ID with 3. But right now we will not use this account ID. We will use for prod environment account ID which with the numbers 1, and for dev and stable we will use with account ID numbers 2. So if I will switch to the vault interface, hashcore vault and menu, we don't have right now inside of state. We can see the bucket name which looks like company minus tf states. Its company name I will show place from where it's configured, in my case, when we will use wrapper 2. So inside of company we have account ID 111 right now, but when we will apply dev or stable environment, we will see on the fly will be generated path for them too. Hardcore vault UI, right now we don't see any. So one point I want to say, just to write and test my own environment, I've used here only one Kcloak. I mean only one Kcloak for dev, stable, and prod. At the same time, one Active Directory, dev, stable, and prod, and at the same time, hashcore vault URL, same place for each of them. But it will be better for the best practice and prod environment to split each environment too. It is just test environment to me to write my own wrapper and record video based on that, and due to that I've used only one place for all of them. So I will switch to the VS Code part, and on the fly I want to generate all requirements for my new microservice. Right now, if I will switch to the account which with the numbers 1, and I see on the prod environment I have region US East 1, and in the core of this repository I have file with the name invoke YAML. So wrapper will go to analyze content of this YAML based on the key definition of the profiles find environment, and based on each environment get required variables. So we can see we defined here service list which we can create but on the fly based of inputs, of course selection box, to our microservices. This is model version. Actually this is this model version, Terraform common models, which we will use on the fly to generate Terraform codes for our microservice. It doesn't matter, it was any name. So, and this is a repository path to where models will be cloned to the current directory of the microservice. So on the fly we will see if I will execute or Go file already compiled. It's in the definition path variable where must be binary file. I have already copied it too. If I will execute, and autocompletion configures too. If I will execute Wrapter and tabulation, we will see autocompletion works here too. And if I will press enter, we can see we can use any of these commands. So I will execute all useful commands which we can use there. So on the fly we can say Wrapter create It asks to us which environment do you require. I will say dev right now prod, and I will implement new feature to this wrapper 2 with the name custom, but it will be a totally separate video. Right now we want new service. New and requirement, I want to prepare on the fly Terraform code files only for the PostgreSQL, and at the same time maybe keycloak. And what will we name? Under which theme it must be generated? Okay, it can be DVH. And which service name will be? We can name it like as Airflow. And just look at this part. On the fly generated folder for the Airflow, Terraform code files, at the same time generated account ID with the 2, dev environment with the AU central region, and all Terraform code files required to this. But if we will open, so just look at this part. We have prod environment and generated all the dev environment. It's because on the fly we said I want only to the dev and prod. If I will execute Wrapter create again and select on the stable, new PostgreSQL at the same time, maybe even I don't need keycloak, I need Active Directory right now. I'm not sure. Give me time, please. Yeah, it was keycloak, and I want Active Directory right now. The name will be Airflow. Oh, sorry, it is team name, not stable. New PostgreSQL Active Directory. Team name DVH, Airflow. And we can see under 2 generated another folder, stable, and all required Terraform code files. But if I will open main TF of the stable, we can see Active Directory and PostgreSQL enabled here. But if we will open dev main TF, we can see keycloak enabled here. If open prod, we will see the same too, because we selected for both of them, PostgreSQL and keycloak. Okay, if even I will delete Airflow from here, delete even account ID from here, try to generate all code files on the fly, new PostgreSQL Mongo keycloak Active Directory, DVH, Airflow, so we can see on the fly will be generated code files for each of them. I will switch, for example, to start from dev, then stable, then prod environment to show what will happen, as I said before, on the fly to communicate to the path where generated all account, environment, and region-based token secret itself. So if I will switch to the Azure Vault, we can see under account ID, environment, region, we have infra path. It is super user credentials for each of the service requirement of our microservices. And inside of services path secret, generated token per each of the account ID, region, environment region, inside of infra will be stored services secret path to use this path like as read-only. I mean, our microservice from environment where Terraform code files of microservice will be executed must get environment variable service token, this one, to communicate with the HashiCorp Vault to read this path to get super user credentials, actually, to get on the fly PostgreSQL, keycloak, Active Directory group at the same time, or Mongo database and credentials which required by our microservice. So I will switch to the part to get actually dev token, because firstly we need to create, we want to create dev microservice requirements, and due to that I do copy this, switch to the account ID dev to this path, and do export service token variable, which this service token variable will be stored like as masked variable inside of any CI. We can say Wrapter in it, which on the fly will go to clone from repository version 051 to our workspace. So we can see even from here, on the fly, based on the structure of the folder, generated path to the store our state in a remote, and expected prefix parsed. I did print it to the console just to debug. We can see our region right now, with central 1, which based on the account ID, our wrapper going to read from invoke YAML file actually. So it's finished. We can say tofu plan right now, or Wrapter. So actually even we can say Wrapter plan too. So we can see 14 resources will be created. It is all stuff for Active Directory. Right now, even we can see inside of Active Directory, sorry, we don't have group with the name dvh minus airflow minus dev, but it will be created after execution of the tofu apply. Tofu apply. Yes. Even I think we can check it. It is already created. So we can see dvh airflow dev created. We can check it from hashcore vault pass2. Inside of dev, with central, we must refresh page. ERC, services, dvh, airflow, and all required stuff. At the same time, kclock must be created here, dvh airflow dev. It is created, but I will not check again, communicate with a PostgreSQL, Mongo. It's not important. Actually, I did this before, so I will switch to the part stable right now. We can see generated code files for the stable too. If I will execute here Wrapter init, we can see the state path generated on the fly for the stable for this service too. But after finish of the Wrapter init, our plan must not work right now, because as I said before, from the server Terraform structured code files generated structure per each account ID, environment, region, to store super user credentials for internal infra services. I mean the services which required by microservices itself. So I will do, even it doesn't matter, tofu plan will work too. We can access denied to the path because we stored inside of service token the secret key only for the environment dev, and due to that we don't have access to this path, and due to that we must export write key from stable, and due to that we must switch to the stable here with central 1 infra services secret, copy this key, and do tofu plan again, or even we don't need plan, tofu apply. Yes, so we can see we don't have group with the name dvh airflow stable here, and it will be created right now. Even, yeah, it must be created. If I will do refresh, actually the power, yeah, it is stable. And if I will switch to the path stable here with central, refresh page, ERC folder will be created. I mean path to the store secrets. We can see kclock, Mongo, it doesn't matter any of them. At the same time, refresh page, dvh airflow stable created here too. Same thing if I will do for prod. And I will do Wrapter init to generate on the fly state paths. Even from menu we can see folder 222 generated here and state stored here at the same time for dev account 2. Dev environment 2, U central, state file stored here too. So, but now if I will switch to the prod account, Airflow must not present there. Right now Airflow not present here, and after apply it will be present. So it is initialized. Tofu apply will not work because we don't have access to the right path. Due to that we must go account ID 1, prod environment, US East 1, copy services token to get access from there. And say apply again. Yes. Now we can see it is created. I will switch to the, it must be finished right now, okay. Must be created DVH Airflow prod. Prod created. And services DVH, we can see Airflow present here. So that's it actually, but I want to say a little bit about structure of the Wrapter, what we can do with the help of the Wrapter. As we see, we can generate on the fly based on account ID, region, environment, to generate Terraform code files on the fly. Based on the service requirement, we can do automation too. Of course, we can improve stuff of the Wrapter based on our requirements too, but currently it works so with the versions 0.5.1, but I want to say, for example, I'm inside of prod environment. We can use feature like as lock or generate plan binary file at the same time do plan. So even do format of Terraform code files, validate it. Even we can write Wrapter doc to generate readme file based on this. So if I will refresh where I'm located right now, it's prod environment inside of Airflow generated readme as we see. Even we can execute Wrapter fmt as we see it's formatted variable tf, or we can do validate lock file. It is already created, we don't require it. So I want to say the core path of the Wrapter, it's to parse real path of the microservice and based on the path microservice on the fly to generate real path where located account ID. I've used git directory actually, so I'm located in the place where git folder located. So based on the git folder, Wrapter found core dir, and from there can generate on the fly path for the each service, microservice to store state. So that's it actually. I hope it will be useful.